but, well, starving yourself isn't going to help Luke.
Do you think they get breakfast at the police station?
Yes, of course they do.
Right, yes, thank you very much indeed. Yes, we will be there. OK, thank you for calling. Bye-bye. It was Camilla Finch, Luke's solicitor. They've received their copy of the post-mortem result.
And?
It seems that the cause of Ben Dingle's death was an inhalation of blood resulting from a blow to the nose.
Did they say what time they wanted us to be at the magistrate's court?
Yes, 11 o'clock.
What's going to happen?
Well, he'll go before the magistrate and formally be charged with manslaughter.
But Luke didn't do anything to Ben Dingle. Not much, anyway. I mean, he only tried to push him away.
That's what everyone's saying. You, him, Glover boy.
Then how could he have died?
I suppose it depends where the blow landed. A couple of inches to the left and no harm would have been done.
Oh, it's dreadful.
Yes, well, these things happen. No one means them to, but they do.
And people's lives are ruined.
Can't you do anything for Luke?
We're doing everything that we possibly can.
Look, can't you tell them he didn't mean to do it?
Facts are facts, Jess. Fact is that Ben Dingle died because of a blow to the face. And whatever the excuse is, it was Luke that delivered that blow.
There's an item here about that party on Pollard's land. That Dingle boy died.
I don't like the family, but they don't deserve that.
Says here, a man will be charged. Suppose they mean Luke McAllister.
If Pollard hadn't let them use the field in the first place, none of this would have happened.
Well, you know him. He'd do anything to line his own pocket.
So I wonder why he wouldn't even discuss selling that field to me.
He wants to build a house, he said.
Do you believe him?
No, I suppose I don't.
So what's he up to?
Or whatever it is, it won't be for the good of the village.
Oh, I'd love to find out.
I might be able to help there.
How?
Do you remember Sally Bennett?
Sally Bennett? No.
We were good friends when I worked for the Naylors. She was Tom Naylor's PA.
Before my time. I poached you from them, remember?
Yes.
So what's this Sally got to do with Pollard?
Well, she works for the local authority now, planning department. So if there's anything in the pipeline, she'd know about it.
I see.
I think it's time I renewed an old friendship, don't you?
I certainly do.
Hello.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear your news.
Oh, is it all round the village? Is it Thursday?
Of course it is. It's my cleaning day.
I don't think we can cope with that.
Neither do I. Do you think we could leave it, Betty?
Problems don't stop the dust from settling.
I suppose not, but I still don't think we can cope with it today.
I'll tell you what. I'll leave it today and come back tomorrow instead. Now, how will that suit?
It'd be a help.
Won't Seth get a nice surprise? We'll be able to go out for the day. See you tomorrow.
Seems in working order.
Yes, they've done a good job.
Everything else all right, is it? The ramp and the rails around the bath? Perhaps I better take a look.
I've checked everything, Frank.
Now that you and Chris are properly equipped, you'll be able to live a much more normal life.
Yes.
I'll send Nick round to help you get the bed back upstairs.
Yes, Frank.
Yeah, I think you made the right decision when you decided to stay on here.
Hiya, Zoe. Wondered if you wanted a lift to the Heritage Farm. It's your morning at the stables, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks.
Hello.
All right, just call Linda. Check up on all the improvements we've made to the cottage.
That's all right. It's less intrusive than I expected.
It pays to have the best.
I'll go and get my stuff. Great. I don't want to be late.
How is business?
Well, I had quite a good response to Chris's advertising campaign.
Maybe you both inherited a bit of business brain after all.
Oh, don't be too confident.
So you're still having trouble at the bank?
Servicing my loans, including the one to Kim. More or less making enough to live on, but that's about it. I'm going to have to think about cutting down on my overheads if I really want to feel safe.
How are you going to do that?
I don't know. I'm thinking I might have to get rid of Jennifer.
Oh, no.
No, I don't want to. She's a good worker and a good friend.
If it has to be done, it has to be done.
I'll give her proper notice.
You can't go on paying a wage you can't afford. And if you do have to get rid, sooner rather than later.
You can't dispose of someone just like that, Frank.
What's she supposed to do? Let the practice fail? I told you it was tough in business.
This is my business, not yours, and I don't want you telling me what to do. I will make my own decisions in my own time.
This is all my fault.
No, it isn't. We were all there.
If I hadn't been there, none of this would have happened.
You can't blame yourself for existing. It was me that threw the first punch.
Ben Dingle was being disgusting to Jess.
We could have just walked away.
I should have known something like this had happened, getting mixed up with the Dingles. They're always looking for trouble.
I should never have suggested the party in the first place.
Yeah, well, Luke didn't know what he was letting himself in for. I should have stopped him.
Will you two listen to yourselves? For goodness sake, stop it.
What?
Stop blaming yourself for what happened.
But it wasn't Luke's fault.
I never said it was. It just happened, didn't it? And it was Ben Dingle that started it.
Yeah, and the rest of his mob.
Right. And all you and Luke did was defend Jess. You can't blame yourselves for that. Ben Dingle was looking for trouble. He'd have found it whoever had been there.
If only it hadn't been us.
You two aren't to blame. And neither's Luke. There's only one person to blame, and that's Ben Dingle.
Hey, John, wow, well done.
Taking off
Good
a few
lads.
pounds.
Good fella.
Now that's what I like to see. A well-turned-out horse.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Look at waistcoat shines.
Messy creatures, horses.
No, not if they're well looked after.
The man's best friend.
I thought that was supposed to be dogs.
Dogs are just as bad, making the messes everywhere.
Except for my Charlie.
Oh, isn't it a shame about what's happened to the McAllisters, lad?
Oh, I know. I think the police are still holding him.
His parents are destroyed. I saw him this morning.
I feel really sorry for them. Come on, boy. Come on.
He's a good lad, is Luke. Bit wild, but he won't do out like that.
Well, let's hope you can convince a court of that.
Morning.
It's a nice place you've got here.
Ah, thanks.
I got through to Sally Bennett.
Any joy?
Yeah. Apparently Pollard might have some big plans for that land.
Not just a house.
Gossip is he's hand in glove with a Councillor Hawkins.
Do I know?
Hasn't been around long. Just moved up here from the Midlands. His reputation with him.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he was involved in some pretty unsavoury land deals down there. There was even talk of bribes.
So what's he doing up here?
More of the same, I'd guess. Apparently he's been making inquiries about buying land to build a private prison on.
Pollard's Field?
Could be.
They want to build a prison near our village?
Looks very much like it. Unless we can think of a way to stop him.
I'm sorry we're late.
Hello, I'm Camilla Finch. We spoke on the phone.
Yes, indeed. Nice to meet you. This is my wife, Anne Harris.
Hello.
Hello, son.
They've not found anything to explain the accident yet.
It wasn't an accident. There was nothing wrong with him. The post-mortem said so.
It could be wrong.
I still don't understand. I didn't hit him that hard.
So what's going to happen?
He'll be formally charged and either remanded in custody or bailed.
Do you think he'll get bail?
Well, surely he will. We'll put up any money that's necessary.
That may not be the best thing to do.
However not.
Luke might be better off if he's remanded in custody.
He'll be better off at home.
Not from what I've been told. I believe the Dingles have been making threats against his life. Look, I know it's hard, but I think Luke might be better off in a safe place until things can be sorted out.
We can't let Pollard get away with this one.
Sounds like this Hawkins fella knows how to get his own way.
Then we must all object. The whole community rallies round. Surely that must carry some weight with the planners.
Unless money's involved.
We could get a petition going. I'm sure the whole village would back us.
In that field of Pollard's next door to Wally's scrapyard?
Better than that. Some of that land party was on belongs to me.
Pollard's land?
My land. Wally owned that strip of field next to t yard. He kept it as pasture for that flaming horse of his.
You're right.
Pollard's got his eye on it. He came round the other day asking me to sell it to him.
The cheek of the man.
You won't let him have it, will you?
Well, not now I've heard what's going on. There's no way I want a prison on my land.
Thank goodness for that.
That solves it, then. If we all stick together, we can stop Pollard and his new friend.
And keep the village the way we want it to be.
Oh, I wish I'd got strawberry now.
Told you.
I wish there was something we could do
Well, we could go out on the bikes.
without Luke.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, it wasn't that kind of something I meant. I meant something for Luke.
Well, could we send him a card?
Saying what? Get well soon.
I was only trying to help.
I think we should go and see him.
What?
They wouldn't let us in.
They let my mum and dad in.
Yeah, well, that were different. They had to see you.
I'm his sister, you're his friend. We should want to go.
Well, do you want to?
I'm his sister, aren't I? I want to help.
Yeah, but do you want to go and see him?
Yeah, of course I do.
I wonder if he's different.
How do you mean different? We only saw him 2 days ago.
Yeah, but he's been with the police since then.
They're only going to ask him questions. They're not going to torture him. They're not going to cut off his hands and feet.
No, of course they're not.
Well, then how do you think he'll be different? No, come on, how do you think he'll be different?
Well, he has killed someone, hasn't he?
Ah, we thought we'd find you here.
Just where I work.
Have you heard what Pollard's up to now?
He wants to build a prison in our village.
What for?
Money. What do you think? There's profit in it.
Only we're going to stop him. Pull all the strings we can.
I'm not letting him get his hands on another yard of our land.
Are you with us?
You can count on me.
They can't keep us waiting much longer.
Probably having their lunch. Do magistrates have lunch breaks?
I don't know. Never been in court.
You got that speeding fine?
I paid that by post.
Yes.
This isn't a joke, you know.
No, of course not.
I can't pay by post.
No, so no. They're just talking.
I've got to stand up in public to tell them what I did.
Yeah, well, it won't come to that.
Luke McAllister. A disgrace to his family.
Luke Bernard McAllister, you are hereby charged with the manslaughter of Benedict Allen Dingle on August the 12th, 1994. This case cannot be dealt with today, and therefore I remand you in custody.
Prison.
Oh, yeah, really cute.
Are you eating?
Yeah, I've not much of an appetite, but it's there if I want it.
Is there anything you want us to bring in next time we come?
No, honestly, thanks.
There must be something you need, Luke. We want to do anything we can.
My mum's got a monopoly on my supplies. It's a relief when I can think of something to ask her for. I'm learning it doesn't do to have too much stuff in here. It just makes you a target.
Look, I'm sorry, Luke, I really am.
It's not your fault.
Yes, it is. You stepped in to help me out. Now look where you are.
Don't blame yourself. It could be you sitting here. And I know you would have helped me because you did at school.
Well, isn't that the reason why they're going to have to let you out in the end?
What do you mean?
You were just protecting yourself. He fell and, well, that was that, wasn't it? Anybody could have done it. I mean, you didn't plan to.
I killed him. Nobody else did. Whatever we say, they've got me. I think they'll keep me locked up here for a long time.
We'd, best be going, Luke.
What the people like who you're sharing a cell with?
gonna do?
What can we do?
It isn't right. It could have just as easily been me in here, if I'd have been the one to hit him.
Oh, it's no good torturing yourself. Come on, let's get out of here and try and think of something positive to do.
You've got a bigger appetite than the beast of Beckendale. Was it the beast that killed those sheep?
No, who knows? If I had to put money on it, I'd say it was a big dog. Probably some townie dumping a mattress and giving his housebound pet a well-deserved run.
Can't lose any more sheep. He's having a bad year.
Good job he doesn't have to feed you, then. Didn't you have any lunch?
I did. A couple of sandwiches. And guess who I saw leaving the wool pack together? Thick as thieves.
Well, go on.
Eric Pollard and Betty Eggleton.
Is that all? Hardly front page of the tabloid, is it?
When you've a nose for business like I have, you learn to spot the dangerous liaisons.
So you don't think it was a tete-a-tete in the romantic sense, then?
No.
Seth would have Eric's guts for garters. Beast of Beckendale would be a little pussycat compared. You don't really think that he could build a private prison, do you?
Not one in a million. I'd stop him getting planning permission.
Did you go and see Chris?
I did. And he's agreed to be my best man. Here's to us. All of us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hey. Hello, love. Now, how are you?
Ear infection, drops, tablets, and lots of early nights.
You didn't say that.
Oh, I might not have done, but you could do with it. Right, Alice, go play in the toy box. Let's have a chat with Rachel. I didn't like to ask him, but how are things with Luke?
I don't know. To be honest, I haven't got that much sympathy.
Oh, come on, Rachel, he must be going through hell in jail.
If he hadn't hit the lad, they wouldn't have locked him up. Violence is never the answer. Just look at Michael and what he did to Eric Pollard.
Well, from what I heard, he was just looking after his friend, and he hit the bloke just the once.
Yeah, and it shows that once is once too often. It's a primitive male reaction lashing out. He shouldn't have done it, and that's that.
Rachel, can I have Mrs. Webster's records, please?
Come on, Alice, we'd better get going. Thank you.
He heard me, didn't he?
Afraid so. Look, you were only speaking your mind.
Yes, and it was only supposed to be to you.
Look, Rachel, it's done now. Don't let it ruin your evening.
I was staying in anyway.
Oh, well, if you change your mind, I'll buy you a drink in the Woolpack later.
Well, I might take you up on that.
Oh, good. Right, go on, Alice. Say goodbye to Rachel.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and don't worry about it.
He'll not turn up now.
I'll give him another 10 minutes.
You said that 15 minutes since.
What does it matter what time he comes, as long as it's before closing?
Domino etiquette. Ned's got to claim game, with standards to keep up.
Oh, they've heard about my Ned being a killer domino player. It scared him off, love.
Dominoes, etiquette. Have you ever heard out so daft?
It's not daft, it's standards. Same as that cricket match next week against Robblesfield. If it ain't done properly, it's not going to be done at all. I bet you're a fair cricketer, aren't you, Ned?
Oh, I've done a bit of my time. My lad's not bad, you know.
Well, in that case, I'll instruct selectors to have a good look at pair on you. And meanwhile, I'll give you benefit of my domino experience. You can referee better.
Oh, that's very good of you.
Very good of me. It's very, very good of me. Seeing as I'm playing it finally next week or two.
See you later.
2 gin and tonics, please.
I'm going to have to apologise.
Well, if you feel you must.
I feel as if everyone's looking at us.
Don't be silly. It's all in your mind. Just think about clearing Luke. That's all that matters.
Bernard, could I have a word, please?
Yes, certainly.
What I said earlier about if Luke hadn't hit Ben Dingle, he might still be alive. What I meant was...
What? You said what? Game to Ned.
And I want his dominoes counting before he starts next game.
I just meant to say that I'm sorry about what happened to Luke, but if he hadn't hit him, he...
Oh, away.
Do you think we should get a satellite TV?
There's enough rubbish on already.
It's just that people come into the pub asking if I've seen this and that, and sometimes it's on satellite. I just thought you might want it for the sport. It's supposed to be very good.
Well, right now, I just want to catch up on my reading.
Is that one of the books Rachel brought round for you?
Yeah.
She was asking if you wanted some company over the bank holiday while I'm working.
She should have asked me.
That's what I said. Do you?
Do I what?
I want some company over the bank holiday when I'm working.
I don't know. See what I feel like doing. Right now, I just feel like reading.
All right. Take her up on the offer. Get some fresh air and some bank holiday sunshine.
We have got to get him out. He's going through hell in that place.
Well, I'm doing the best I can.
Well, it's not good enough. That is my son in that prison, and I've got to get him home. Fingers crossed is not good enough.
Yeah, well, he's my son as well. Do you think I feel exactly the same as you do? Look, we're at our lowest point at the moment. But from now on, things can only start getting better. Luke McAllister. Ah, yes, hello. Ah, yes, well, we're wondering what it was. Oh, I see. Oh, right. Right, thank you. Yeah, well, yes. Yes, fine. Okay, good night. Thank you very much. Camilla Finch. Those clicks on the answer machine were her. She didn't want to leave a message. She said she wanted to talk to us directly. They've authorized a second post-mortem. I know this one will show the real cause of death.
It's not the end of the world. Now, the reason they're keeping you in here for the time being is to protect you from the Dingle family. Now, once we've finally established the cause of this boy's death and tempers have cooled down a little, then you'll probably get bail.
Probably.
Almost definitely.
Well, how long am I going to be here?
Not long.
Now, we don't know that. On the dark side, it could be a couple of months.
Months?
It's no good pretending otherwise, Luke.
But we are doing our best. And don't think for one moment that we're not trying to get you home every minute of every day.
I know, it's just awful in here. The people in my cell are just animals.
Keep yourself to yourself, Luke. Try not to upset anyone in here.
How can you keep yourself to yourself when there are 4 of us in a cell meant for 2?
What about getting in touch with our MP, whoever he is?
Look, you've got to be prepared to stick it out in here until your trial. It's tough, there's no question about that. You just got to get it into your head and survive it.
I don't know if I can, Dad.
Of course you can. Son, don't you know I'd swap places with you and do it for you if I could, but I can't. You've got to face this alone. Now, it's going to be tough. Toughest thing that you've ever done or probably ever will have to do in your life. You've just got to dig deep down and do it.
There must have been something wrong with this lad for him to have died so easily.
I know it's difficult, but try and go with the flow in here. Whatever else you become, don't become a whinger.
Oh, Dad, don't try and pretend you know what it's like.
I'm not. It's just that I'm older than you are, and I do know what it is that gets people's backs up.
Dad, I don't need this.
Luke, I know what makes people tick. Now, you will earn their respect in here if you don't go around all the time protesting your innocence.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Wouldn't happen to know what sword dancers come under in the phone book, would you?
Funny you should ask. No.
I want to book them for the Heritage Farm over the bank holiday.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I thought for one ghastly moment you were booking them for the wedding.
Now, there's a thought. We cornered the market in magazines.
Do you want this wedding organised, or what? Because if you do, we're going to have to scour this lot for ideas.
Carry on. I don't want anybody doing a U-turn now. You wouldn't know how I can get hold of the Skipdale sword dancers, would you, Zoe?
No, sorry.
You didn't bat an eyelid.
Thanks, my dad. If he wants sword dancers, he'll get sword dancers. I'm going to have to leave you to it.
Oh, why's that?
I'm going over to the Glovers. Jack says they've got a girl who's good with animals and keen to work.
Cheap, I hope.
Extremely.
You won't believe this. They're in here.
The Glovers?
Sword dancers.
Hi. Do you think you could tell my mum and dad I'll be back in about an hour?
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing?
Oh, we're setting up a community advice centre. Chris Tate designed the posters. They're brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah. Look, I tell you what, will you tell my mum and dad that Biff and I have gone over to talk to Dave Glover?
Right, sure.
Luke's been refused bail. He's going to have to stand trial, and that could take a long time. We've got to find a way to get him out.
Well, good luck, Jessica.
I still can't quite believe it's happening. Look, I'll see you later.
We have to go.
Oh, well, see you soon.
Tomorrow.
No.
Why not?
Have a break. Jess and Biff will visit.
But suppose you need something.
Well, then I'll tell them and you can bring it the day after. I'll cope, Mum. I'm gonna be fine. You two just make sure you don't let my room out. Because I'll be home sooner than you think.
Bye, son.
Bye.
All I can tell you is what I told police. There you go. Luke stepped in when you got pushed out at Way, and there was a bit of a scuffle. Luke sort of smacked out like in self-defence. Busted his nose without even really having a go at him. Mind you, it's no more than he was asking for, because he was always starting fights. Beats me how he survived so long in boxing.
You were a boxer?
Aye, they all were Dingles. Dad forced them into it. None of them were any good, but he still made them box.
How many fights did he have?
Dunno. Don't think he won any of them, though. Started when he was 11 and finished when he was about 15. His dad used to beat him up at home every time he lost a fight. His old man. He's a right bully. You ask anyone.
This could be it, Jess. If we can prove he's had some kind of injury from boxing.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. I think we've got some useful information. In fact, I'm sure of it.
Hey, slow down. What is it?
You tell them.
We've just been to see Dave Glover.
Yes, Rachel told us.
Yeah, well, he knows the Dingles. And he reckons that their old man forced them into boxing, Ben included. He says that none of them are any good, and after getting beaten up in the ring, their old man had given him a good hiding for losing.
Must have offended his macho image.
And?
Well, if we're looking for a cause of death, that might be part of it.
Contributing factor?
Yeah, if Ben's had a few belts around the head and that.
Why don't you just stay out of it? People who know what they're doing are investigating this case, and the last thing they need are a couple of kids blundering about. Luke is under threat from the Dingle family as it is. And the last thing we need is you going around stirring them up even more.
Look, I was just trying to help.
Just you stay out of it!
Look, I'm really sorry, Biff.
It's all right. It's getting to us all.
I think you've done very well. And I'm going to make sure the solicitors know. It could just be that the father was in some way responsible for the boy's death.
Do you want us to come with you?
No, I think it's best if you stay here with your dad. And, harsh as it sounds for you to go now, Biff, it's been a very bad day up to now, and everyone's nerves are stretched to the limit.
It's okay. I understand, Mrs. McAllister.
How'd it go?
Oh, 2 steps forward and 8 back. Usual thing with council meetings, especially these rural ones. Do you know that they've still got a bylaw here against mixed bathing?
Just as well we don't have our own pool then, eh?
That's why. There were so many objections to its proposal that it never came to pass. And that's why we have to box clever over this private prison proposal.
We will, we are. Even got our first potential prisoner. One Luke McAllister, our local GP's son.
Did the widow Eggleton come and see you then?
Oh, she did. Laying down the law of what we should and shouldn't do about organising a pup concert.
Hope you've got her well sussed out, Eric. This is an important deal.
All I have to do is organise, or rather, disorganise some rather unsavoury events, and there'll be nothing for her to do except sell the land to us, just to get rid of it. This is a very lucrative deal, and I don't want some silly old granny doing us out of it. So relax, councillor. Leave it to me. You just concentrate on writing your speech for laying the foundation stone for a brand new private prison.
Hey, young man, pick that up.
Hello?
And you can tell your mates I don't want any mess or litter backstage. And no shenanigans. I've heard what you lot get up to, yeah, and I don't expect to see anything obscene on that stage, because this family's coming to this concert. Do I make myself clear?
Clear.
Right, off you go. And don't forget to tell your mates what I've said.
Will do.
I've just seen the yard.
Yeah, looks much better, doesn't it?
It looks empty.
Yeah, well, I've cleared it, and that's the way it's going to stay from now on.
And what about our arrangement?
I'm trying to make a home of this place. I can't be doing with all that scrap.
So that's it, is it?
I'm afraid so. I've left a pile of stuff at one end. Now, you're welcome to take that gratis. That means for now.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe I can sell it through the shop. Thanks a lot, Betty.
My pleasure.
Mind you.
What?
Looks like I missed all the fun and games. I can't believe it. Young Luke in prison.
Yes, well, I don't suppose it's much fun or a game for Luke or his mum and dad.
Luke hasn't even been to trial yet. I thought people were innocent until proven guilty in this country.
Damn.
What's wrong?
Another answering machine.
I better go. My brother's running me over to Leeds. Is there anything else, Mrs. McAllister?
No. Just give him our love. Tell him we'll see him tomorrow. What are you two going to do?
Oh, nothing.
Why don't you go out somewhere?
I just don't feel like it.
Come on. Sitting around moping isn't going to do Luke any good. Why don't you go up to the Heritage Farm? It's their first big open day today.
Yeah, why don't we? Come on, it'll take us mind off things for an hour or two.
Okay. Oh, this is like a nightmare. Things like this just don't happen to people like us.
Hey, Jess, look, I don't want you worrying. Now, Luke's blow couldn't have killed Ben Dingle, and I'm going to prove it. Don't you worry.
Welcome to the Heritage Farm Open Day. We have a full programme of events for you today, and you'll find all the details in your programme.
Well, the minute they get here, tell them to come and find me. Their first display's at 2 o'clock. OK? Right.
I've been looking at pitch. There's a bit of bounce, so I'm going to take a chance on your leg breaks.
What?
Cricket match.
Ah, well, at this moment, I'd say my chances of playing are about 50-50.
You've got to play. It's a needle match, Emmerdale versus Robblesfield. I need my strongest 11 hat.
And I need to make sure that all this goes off smoothly. And at the moment, it's a... All right, Seth. Stick me down as 12th man.
I can't make you 12th man when I've only 11 to start with.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honestly, tongues are really wagging away down there.
Oh, it's not surprising.
I know. You get the feeling they're enjoying it more than they should. I hate gossip.
Yeah.
Kim?
Hi. How's it going?
Ask me in about an hour.
Problems?
Well, where should I start? Sword dancers should have been here an hour ago, and there's a queue about a mile long at Critt's Court.
Sorry, Dad.
Come and have a cup of coffee and relax.
I'm sorry, love, I can't. I'll see you later.
Frank, what's happened?
One of the kids have fallen off one of the swing boats. Look, he's over there. His mother's with him.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just one thing on top of another.
Well, everyone seems to be enjoying themselves.
Enjoy themselves even more if all the attractions were here.
Sword dancers still haven't arrived.
No, Seth's vanished. I'll see you later.
Hiya. How's things?
Oh, same as before.
Luke must be climbing up walls.
Oh, you could say that. I think it's terrible they keep innocent people in prison.
Yeah, getting bail's not easy, especially when there's a death involved.
Hey, you two better watch yourselves as well. Just seen a couple of the Dingle brothers in the crowd.
Yeah, well, we're not stopping long. We're going to go and see a concert up at Eggleton's Yard.
Yes, perhaps as well.
Any of you seen Seth?
Yeah, we're looking for him. We're supposed to be playing cricket.
He's supposed to be here giving rides with Samson.
You know, when Luke gets out, you better watch his back.
Yeah, that family got long memories. He's probably safer where he is, in prison.
Ah, Seth. Captain Courageous. All ready to lead us onto the green sward, eh?
I am. But are you fit to play?
Of course I am. All dressed, ready to go. Look.
You're looking at weather to me.
Well, I must admit I did burn the candle at both ends last night, but that's very easily rectified. Hair of the dog, you see.
Mine's a pint, John. Priorities right there.
Hey, you're not Rubblefield cricket team, are you?
Sword dancers.
Frank is going crackers looking for you lot. He's expecting you at Heritage Farm.
All in good time, Seth. I expect these gentlemen would enjoy a drink. I mean, sword dancing's thirsty work, isn't it?
It's the first soft skin I've touched since...
How are you?
Oh, you know?
Mum sent these. And she sends her love. Luke? Luke, what's wrong?
I don't think I can take much more of this. And this is just the beginning of it.
No, you'll be out soon.
Will I?
That's who I could do with to pull me around, save my arms.
Any excuse, lazy bone.
Have you seen out an egg lover or his lad?
Yeah, they were around earlier.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
What's wrong?
Cricket team, I'm 2 men short.
Oh, don't look at me.
No, but you could umpire. Then old Mr. Howard, our umpire, he could play instead.
Nah, I don't want to do it.
Don't be such a stuck in the mud. It'll be fun. You don't need legs to umpire. Go on.
All right, I'll do it.
3 o'clock it starts.
He'll be there. I'll push him myself if necessary.
You'll have to find me first.
Just about given up on you. Where have you been?
I've been making sure we've got a team for this afternoon's match.
You should have been here, Seth, with Samson. You're one of the major attractions of the fair.
So it's cricket match. And if we ain't got a team, we haven't got a game. And what about you? Are you declaring yourself available or what?
At the moment, it's or what. You just have to manage. I'd be a lot happier if those blasted sword dancers had turned up.
They have.
Where are they?
They're down at Wolfpack, boozing with my wicket-keeper.
Oh, Luke, please try and stay strong.
What's the point?
You've got to believe that your dad will find a way of proving that you didn't kill him. And hang on to that hope.
Right now, all I can see is this. For the next God knows how many years, the stench, the overcrowding, and...
What?
You wouldn't believe the things that go on in these places.
You will get out. I promise. Your dad'll find something. Sorry.
Thanks for coming, and don't tell my parents about this.
He goes to the stables. He gets out his favourite mare. She's a beautiful bay mare, well, Russell. You know, Jane Russell, you see. And he... Oh, hello, Frank. You going to have a drink? I've just been telling these chaps all about a hump
I
ball.
take it you're the sword dancers. You should have been at the Heritage Farm half an hour ago.
Frank, it's all my fault. They came to ask directions, and I'm afraid I led them astray, didn't I?
Obviously. Right, gentlemen, I'll wait for you outside and escort you personally.
Are you sure you're fit to keep wicket?
Of
course I am, Seth. I've just had a few drinks, that's all.
How many fingers am I holding up?
6.
No.
Oh, come on, Seth. I'm only joking. It's 3. Of course it's 3. Now, don't you worry. Once I get behind those timbers, I shall be as right as rain.
I hope so.
Yes, of course I will. Now, you can have a drink before we go.
Oh, no. I've got to keep a clear head. I need all my gal and cunning if we're going to be at Robblesfield.
And a little bit of fresh fruit from time to time won't hurt him either. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi. You seen Dad?
Oh, here and there, tearing around like a blue-ass fly last time I saw him.
Poor Frank, he's been in a right flap all day.
Well, he's anxious, that's all. He wants everything to go smoothly. If today's a success, this could be an annual event.
Oh, no. Lifetime of Pet's Corner. Did you manage to track down those sword dancers?
Yes, they were in the Woolpack.
Oh, no, not too worse for wear, I hope.
No, didn't seem to worry them. They reckon they can perform better with a pint or two inside them.
Puts an edge on their dancing. We're heading for the beer tent, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, good idea. Pet's Corner is now closed.
Tell Zoe what you're up to this afternoon.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I am playing cricket.
What? No, he's not. He's umpiring for the Emmerdale 11.
Well, thanks, Kath. I was going to wind her up for a bit.
All right? Yeah, fine. Chris seems relaxed. Doesn't he? Nothing to do with me.
Oh?
No, Rachel seems to have that effect on him. He really seems to come to life when she's around.
Oh, I see. Are you jealous?
No. I'm just pleased he's beginning to enjoy life again.
Come on, you two. You're going to miss them.
Who? What?
The sword dancers. They're going to start in a minute. Where's Kim?
Just up ahead.
Right.
Drives me out just watching him.
Well, what do you think?
I think it looks awful.
Just a poster.
Well, that's not a poster, that's not a poster, and that's not a poster. It's just...
Recyclable. Part used, pre-owned.
junk.
Yeah, but if it brings people into the shop.
Are we going to this concert tonight?
Well, seeing as we've suddenly got a major music venue in the village, we ought to make the most of it. And
Vic, someone might come in.
we agreed, after our trials and tribulations, we were going to relax, take life as it comes.
Back behind the post office counter tomorrow.
Yeah. You going to be all right?
I'm determined to be. As far as I'm concerned, that awful business with Reg never happened.
Good. And I'm looking forward to getting divorced. Oh, remarried too, of course.
Whoops, don't mind me. All you need is love and a small white sliced.
Hello, Frank. It's going very well.
Yeah, everyone seems to be having a good time.
What are you doing?
Enjoying the fair.
And psyching us up to open innings.
I've told you before, you're not welcome on my land.
This is different, surely.
Not to me, it isn't. I mean it. We're not having a deceitful, conniving little crook like you in here.
Hey, hang on. He's paid to come in here, the same as everyone else.
Then I'll refund him, but I want him out of here. Now.
I'm not going to stand here and let you try and make a fool of me.
I don't believe you just did that. Eric, hang on.
Sorry about that, Seth.
Not half as sorry as I am. That's my opening bat you've just chucked out.
Hi!
All right, Butch, we don't want any trouble.
What makes you think you've got a choice?
Now, don't start on me, Dad, because he wasn't even there. If you want to fight, I'm the one.
Any time.
Look, I don't know the feud with your family. What happened in that field is between you and the McAllisters, so you will leave us well out of it, all right?
Are you backing off, Ned?
There's now to be gained, son. Your brother's dead. And fighting over him ain't going to bring him back again, is it?
Look, there's a score to be settled. And it will be, whether you like it or not. That's a promise.
I'm not backing down, David. You know me better than that. We've got trouble enough of our own. And the last thing we need is to get involved in a feud with that lot.
I mean, I wasn't surprised when I heard about him. Ben Dingle was a right-head case.
Was he the one that tried it on with you when you first qualified?
Yes, I'm afraid he was.
What happened?
They used to run a small holding, and I was called to look at a pony they had. And Ben Dingle cornered me in one of the barns.
Oh, no.
Fortunately, his father turned up just in time. I've often wondered what might have happened otherwise.
Oh, doesn't bear thinking about. You all right, Frank?
Yeah, fine. A bit tired.
Not surprised the way you were charging around.
Well, I had to. It'd all have fallen apart otherwise. Bad enough as it was, no cricket match.
Sword dances were good, though.
Well done, lad. Rubblesby were beaten by that famous Yorkshire pair, Armstrong and Sampson. Aided and abetted by that other famous pair, Cunning and Guile.
Sorry. Been a long day.
Oh, good one, though, in the end.
Yeah, did you see those crowds? Can't wait to get home and count the takings.
Frank?
Dad! Dad!